stakeholders and leadership. Uh, Very quick, very simple topic. All of y'all have to understand the fact is, Ruba has made me a presenter. Just give me a second. While waiting for the files to load, so it will be. Oh, okay. Let me know once you're able to see the slide. Yeah.
Yes, sir, we are able to see.
Okay. Good. Okay. So it talks about stakeholdership and leadership. Yeah. Very simple. Um, who's the leader in your family? Who decides most things in your family?
Parents,
Okay, very good. Who has got greater power, father or mother?
it depends. Normally, father.
So again, it depends in terms of what decision has to be made, right? Right. So how about in your current office, who makes most decision? You or your manager?
Manager.
Manager. And compared to your manager and our boss, okay, very good. So the big boss decides on a lot of things, right? Um, well, that is not exactly a leadership. Uh, so let's not confuse between management, managers, and leaders. What they're trying to say here is, right? Sometimes you don't have to be a manager to become a leader, right? Don't see leadership from just one viewpoint of leading a team with position and power. Yeah? Leadership is also about your um, influence over people, right? So some of the leaders that we know have all come from probably the business industry or political uh, players, right? Our political players, like some of the biggest names, who we say as, I think, inspirational leaders are people like Nelson Mandela. So, what did Nelson Mandela do? Anyone? You all know who's Nelson Mandela? Yes. Okay. Maybe that's a bit too far. How about Gandhi? Do you know who's Gandhi? Okay. Let's come. Let's come closer to home. Who's Tunku Abdul Rahman?
Yes.
So so I started from very far, I come back home. So all these people were seen as great leaders because they did something that was very inspirational. Like we got our independence. Tunku led that delegation to negotiate and get the independence. Gandhi got the independence from the same people that we got our independence from, the British. Yeah, Gandhi got it for India. Tunku got it for Malaysia. How about Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela inspired his people, ended apartheid in South Africa, and became the president or prime minister of South Africa. I don't know whether president or prime minister. I can't recall which title, but again he became the leader of his people. So there are many leaders around you. Yeah, the person who always takes the lead in doing getting something done, whether it's in your home or whether it's in your among your friends. You will have somebody who naturally steps into a leadership role, right? Who tries to take things and get it done. So that has got to do with our lecture today? Uh, Very simple. The one individual who is the most, I would say, the one individual who is the most critical to any project would be your um, project manager. Yeah. So have a look at this: project leadership, stakeholders, how to manage them, considering the role in this project. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on next. So this is supposed to be your interactive session, right? You're supposed to discuss among your groups. It's okay. We'll just go next and just look at the project manager. So the PM essentially is the single point of contact, single point of failure. That's the way people will see, right? If I want anything in regards of the to the project I'm working on, I will talk to the PM. If the project fails, I will look for the PM. If the project is delayed, I will look for the PM. If I need money for the project, I will look for the PM. So anything and everything that's related to a project would be managed by the project manager. Therefore, that's why he's known as the project manager. You see, it's a single point of responsibility, leads and manages the project team, essential that the skills and experience are matched to the requirements of the project. If it's a smaller project, you give to a less experienced person. If it's a huge project, you give it to an experienced manager. So I think this is common sense. The only difference is, right, they say, can you see, the PM is a single point of responsibility. Why do you think they want that? Anyone? Why do you think they want the PM to be the single point of responsibility?
So it's if anything goes wrong, he is the person to be accountable.
So you're looking for somebody to shoot lah, somebody to blame. Tariq, you're looking for somebody to blame, isn't it? Oh,
No, sir.
right. Decision maker, very good, Kyrie. What else? What else do you think? Why do you think single point of responsibility? Okay, good. That's decision maker is a very good point. Yeah. Um, Now, when I highlight this, right, a single point of responsibility, it means that they control a lot of things, right? Remember this, right? They control a lot of things, right? Um, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Talking about whole of nation, finance, communication, right? Um, Negotiations, right? Uh, Disputes, okay? The control of time, and so many things. They basically control all these factors that determines if your project is going to be successful or not. Example, right? They would share information to people who are relevant, right? People who needs the information. Sometimes you don't need the information, but you kepochila, you wanna find out what's happening. That information could be P and C, right? So the PM can control on that particular information. Finance, he can approve, disapprove requests for more money because he wants to keep track of what you do, what you spend, right? And then communication, he controls what kind of layer of communication there should be, right? He negotiates rates, he negotiates disputes, he manages time. So he becomes the single point of responsibility to ensure that the project is kept moving to the next level, next level, next level, right? So that's why they say he is, right? Let me just draw. Okay. So that's why I say he leads and manages the project team and needs skills and experience. So where do you get skills and experience? Through managing smaller projects. Okay. Let's see, look at this. Overall responsibility for the project. All decisions should be directed. All decisions should be directed uh, towards achieving, right, the project objectives, meets the need of sponsor, stakeholders, project lifetime. So basically, he does everything and anything that's needed in order to make the project a success. Any questions here? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Right. So moving on next. I'm going to skip this group task and then go to this. Competencies required. Competencies meaning probably your skills, your knowledge, your expertise that is required. Leading, communicating, negotiating, problem solving, influencing, and then planning, scheduling, controlling. What's the difference between soft skills and hard skills? Anyone? What you know of soft skills and hard skills? Difference between soft skills and hard skills? Anyone? You can type it there if you want to.
I think soft skills will be within yourself. That means it's experience based thing, and hard skill is something that you just do.
Okay, very good, Tariq. So in most times, soft skills, people related. Soft skills are personality related. Soft skills are something that sometimes you already have a flair, right? Like communicating. Sometimes people have this flair of talking to a group of individuals. How many of you all have got a confidence to do a presentation in front of 100 people? Okay, that is a soft skill. Okay, that is a soft skill to be able to speak. Okay, how many of you all naturally can step in front and say, hey, come guys, let's go, let's do this? How many of you all do that? So that's from a leadership perspective, soft skill. Now, the hard skills are something that you learn. You learn meaning there is a proper uh, process that you need to master, a proper skill that you need to uh, learn. Like for instance, planning. Maybe you are good at using Microsoft Project and your knowledge, your experience as a PM to plan and schedule your project. Yeah, that's the hard skill. Controlling. What do you mean by controlling? Controlling is just not the fact you can ask, you need to control a certain thing. How do we control projects? We control projects when we have decisions on the resource. Yeah, please understand that. When you're talking about controlling, is not control people. Hey, you sit there, you do this work, you do this, you do this. No, controlling is more than that. Controlling is when you assign a task, when you assign work to people. How do you control that? You control that through time. You control that through cost. So when you talk about cost, you must be able to understand the financial implication. What are the financial implication are we referring to when it comes to a project? The financial implication is if your project has been given X amount of money, a certain budget, right? And you must complete the project by a certain date. What if the project is delayed and how much money will you lose per day, right? Or what is the additional excess or extra that you need to spend in order to complete the project? Right? I give you a basic example, simple example. Assuming in the construction world, you need to hire equipments to do some certain task like drilling and whatever not. So the construction company, if it's a small one, they don't own a drilling equipment. What they do is they rent it. They rent it from larger organizations, right? They rent like they say, hey, I want to use this for 3 days. What's your rate? So the company, the rental company will give them a quote. They say, okay, 3 days is 15,000 ringgit. Fine. First day you drill, second day you drill, third day heavy rain, cannot drill. Fourth day you cannot drill because the land has become very soft because of all the water. You need to pump the water out and so on. So now you ask me, what is your cost and how is delayed, how your project is delayed. So all that you have to control, right? So that's what they mean by controlling here, right? So it's just don't see it just from a very simplistic approach. You guys all are adults. See it from your management view, yeah. And then characteristics of a good project manager: have a vision. How many of you all enjoy what you all doing now between us? How many of you all enjoy your work now? Or do you wake up in the morning, yeah, I need to go to work, or oh yes, I need to go to work? Yeah. Okay. I see everybody enjoys their work. Okay. Excellent. Now, soft skill or hard skill?
Soft.
Soft. Okay. Soft skill or hard skill? Okay, I think this is a hard skill. You use it for using tools. Yeah, same here. This is also a hard skill. Knowledge and competency. Ability to inspire.
Soft.
Soft. Very good. Ability to inspire is soft. So what you see is you have a mixture of hard skills and soft skills here. Right? So, any questions on this? Clear? Okay, moving on next. Okay. Final reflection on stakeholders. Okay, they say primary stakeholders can affect the development, are affected by strategic outcomes, can have enforceable claims, are influential when in control of critical or valued resources. Right? What they mean by this? They say that when you talk about primary stakeholders, people who have got direct interest in a certain project. Okay, remember that, huh? When you refer to primary stakeholders, okay, let me type here. Okay, okay. Primary stakeholders have direct interest in the projects. Direct interest. Okay, they could be the person who's sponsoring. They could be the group that wants to get certain things done. It could be organizations coming up with a new product, hence a new project, right? And what they say is these people who have got direct interest are affected or can affect the development of the vision and mission, are directly affected by the strategic outcomes, can influence the firm's performance, are influential when in control of critical or valued resources. Okay, guys, don't get me wrong. I'm going to use a very simple uh, example on this and this. Assuming these primary stakeholders are yourself, your parents, father, mother, and your wife and your future wife, and the project is getting married. Right now, your dad, your father, and mother can affect the development of your wedding in terms of, okay, what do you want to plan for it? Big, small, where, when, how, and so on, right? Are affected by the changes, right? Can control or have say in how what that needs to be done, right? Have influence on the finance part of it, right? If you plan, Tariq, you're married, right? No. Yes.
No, sir.
Okay, if you plan to marry and you say that no, I want to have a small wedding with 100 people, your parents will come and say, no way, we need to invite at least 500 people. So I give you the money, right? So things like that. That's what they mean by have direct interest in the project. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Good. Right. So if nothing, let's move on to the next topic. Yeah. The next one would be planning. So again, you all are working adults. Very simple factor. You got to plan your work. If you don't plan your work never gets done, right? When you talk about planning, you're talking about allocation of time, allocation of resources, allocation of, understanding what competencies is needed to get the work done, what tools you may need to use, so on. So it's planning from any perspective of life is just about sitting down, understanding what we need to do. Yeah, the simple definition of planning. They're the same. What is project planning? Work breakdown structure. Okay, I'll give you all a simple definition for this. This is critical. Yeah, how you develop systems approach. Yeah. Now, we would have done this in the previous um, previous lessons. Yeah. Want you all to just quickly recap on this later today. Yeah. Um, how because it ties very closely to planning. Yeah. And then life cycle. You have done this. Okay. Now we're moving into this area. That is the planning. Okay. They say define and refine objectives, plan the project, time, team, activities, resources, financials. So basically it's putting a plan together on how to get things done based on the information that you have. Yeah. So how many of you all have planned for something? Something in your life? Have you all planned to do a holiday together? Have you all tried doing that? Or
Yes,
you all just like me, take the bag, put inside the car, and then just go. What's the plan? No plan. The plan is not to have a plan, right? But we can't do that, right? We have to plan in order to get things done, especially in the corporate environment. Because why? Why do we need to plan? Why do we need to plan? Anyone? It's only Tariq who's been answering. Anyone else? Why do we need to plan? You can type it out there in the chat if you want to. Okay, I see everybody decided to get ready for school tomorrow. Right. So we need to plan, especially when you talk about projects. Yeah, we need to plan is because we have got limited. What is that? We've got limited resources. We don't have unlimited time or unlimited money. The company does not have. The company has got so many things that needs to be done. They need to prioritize the work, the effort, which brings the most return on investment. So therefore, they need to carefully spend every single dollar that they have in order to earn more. So that's why they do a lot of planning in order to get things done. Yeah. Now, they say from what to how Planning is from what to how. Plan the project, time, team, activities. So far, that all of these that you are very familiar with. Okay, and then moving on to planning and scheduling. Planning, it's very simple. What is going to be done? How it's being done? Where? By whom? And when? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? Where? Who? When? Why? And how? So why is not here? Why is here? Why? Yeah. Why are we doing this? Over here in planning, we go with what are we going to do? How is it going to be done? Where? Whom? When? So if you all heard about the 5 wives and 1 husband, this is the theory of 5 wives and 1 husband. The 1 husband is how, the 5 wives are why, what, where, who, when. Okay, a very simple tactic that you can use in order to prioritize your work, in order to prioritize what you need to do. The first question is always why. If you are doing something, ask yourself why. What is the impact of it? Why am I doing this? Right? Is it worth doing it? Why is normally the first. What is second? Right? What are we going to do? What is the action you're going to take? Right? When are you going to do? When is always related to timeline, right? When are we going to do this? You cannot say, oh, I'll do it lah when I can. No, in project, there's always a deadline, a timeline, and so on. So when is related to a date or a time factor, meaning that, oh, I'm going to get it done by 30th of March, or the results will be out in 4 hours, or we need to close this by second quarter. So it's always related to when. Okay, who refers to the resource, who's going to do it. So it's not about pointing to, oh, person A going to do, or person C is going to do. It's not about who, as in literally who, the person, meaning that if a certain task, do we need to outsource to a third party? Do we have the designers in-house or out-house? We need to in-house or outsourced. Okay, where is our programmer based? Is he based in Malaysia or is he based in India? Right. So who refers to the resources that you need to use? Right. It also refers to organization. Example, who needs to give you a permit to do road works? Is the Jabatan, right? The Jabatan is not a single person. The Jabatan or the department is a organization. So who also refers to an organization? Okay. Where? Okay. Where also it refers to a multiple view, right? Where as in, is it being done? Are we going to do it in a location? Are we going to do it? Where are you going to build your program, or which platform, right? Whether it's Linux or is it going to be based on which programming language are you going to use. So where is not only a location, where also expands to other things that you would relate to in a project, right? So always remember, when you talk about this, right, try to expand from these simple 5 W's, right? Why, what, when, who, where. Okay. How many of you all are from the IT industry? Anyone here from the IT industry? Okay. So it's the fact is it's gonna be straightforward. It's gonna be something that uh, 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 you have to ask, and then finally, how? How are you gonna do it? Right. So that's what we call this 5 wives and 1 husband. Okay. Now, scheduling is what will be done and who will be doing it. It's based on time and based on a plan description. Okay. This class is part of a schedule, right? The scheduling is you guys do 1 week of another module and then do 1 week of my module uh, and just work on uh, closing it till a few more months in order to sit for your exam and pass your paper to get your degree. Correct? So that's what this scheduling is all about. What will be done, who will be doing it on a certain time frame. Okay. And then you have project planning. A plan created at the start of the project should be used as a driver for the project. What do they mean by that? What they mean is sit down, do your plan. Plan it in such a way that you must think of all the possibilities that may impact your project. Yeah. And then use your plan to guide your next steps. To guide your next steps. Okay. You know, the biggest mistake that we do, or what I've experienced, or what I have failed in my previous uh, um, projects, I wanted the perfect plan. There's no such thing as the perfect plan, right? That does not mean that you should not put in effort to do your planning. Your effort should be in planning. But at the same time, you must remember there's no such thing as a perfect plan. And always be ready for changes. Yeah? So over here they say initial plan should be the best possible plan given the available information. Right? In 2020 January, I plan to have a concert in the month of October. Right? I'm gonna bring in one of the top performers from US for a major concert in Malaysia for the first time. I target my date to be October 20th, and January I started planning after confirming the date with the performer. That means I already initialized my project. January I planned for my concert in October. Guys, would you think the concert would have been done?
Yes.
But I have to change my plans, right? Because of COVID, because of travel restrictions, a lot of things that comes into that would have impacted my plan. Yeah. So that's what I mean by initial plan should be the best possible plan. But remember, your plan don't have to be perfect. It must be regularly revised as new information becomes available, right? So your plan you can change accordingly, but the overall objective would be set. Okay. Then they say the project plan sets out resources available, work breakdown, schedule of the work. Now, can you all just remember this work breakdown? I'll explain further as we move on. Right? Just note it down because this is a very critical component to your project. Okay. Now, moving on from what to how. So, you have established what to do, what you want to complete, what you want to achieve, right? Now you must think of how to do it, right? So what is going to help you to do it would be a work breakdown structure. They say the main feature. Work breakdown structure is more of a tool rather than anything else. Guys, this work breakdown structure would be part of your third assignment. Yeah, would be part of your third assignment, reflecting on a project that you have worked in your company. Yeah, so we can remember that. I would definitely put this as a compulsory feature in your third assignment. Okay, please note it down. Yeah. Then they say, why is this important? Determine what needs to be done, allocation of roles and responsibilities. This is plan. Resources needed, human resource needed, project cost. So again, why work breakdown structure is important, part of the plan. Yeah, because it will help you to do certain things like this. Okay, key part of any project, clear logical breakdown of task. Yeah, think about the work breakdown structure as an outline or map of the project. Breakdown structure starts with the project at the top level deliverable and it's further decomposed into sub deliverables. Now, I will leave you with one tip. Okay, I will leave you with one tip from here. Okay, if you take a huge, if you take a project, no matter how big or how small, yeah, it doesn't matter the size of the project or the size of the work that you need to do, right? If you take that and try to identify all the components needed to complete the project, all the different types of work that you need to do in order to complete your project, right? Work breakdown structure helps you to organize that work. Okay, so what it means is it will break the huge task into smaller work that you can track. It takes a big activity or task and then breaks it down into smaller steps that you can manage or tasks that you can manage. Think about it, right? And then in typical organization, this is how it looks like. Okay, construction of a house, a budget you have about 200,000. See, internal work, electrical, plumbing, foundation, excavate, steel erection, external masonry work, building finishes, paint walls, ceiling tile, hang wallpaper, carpet, hardware. See, external roofing, install tile, install roof drains, masonry, and so on. What they have done, they have taken the project of constructing a house and break it down to parts that they think they need to manage separately. Hence, this is known as a work breakdown. You all follow? Right. Guys, this is important. Please remember, right? This is very, very important. If you understand this, then your knowledge of project management, right? You just need the experience in order to run any kind of project. It's very important. It's the basic fundamental of planning. Because in this one work breakdown structure, you are already seeing so many different types of information that you will need as a project manager. Example, 45%, 24%, 30%, right? Meaning what? This represents 24% of the work of building the house. This represents 34%, 30%. This represents 45% of the project. So you know for a fact that I need to allocate X amount of dollars for this. I need to allocate X amount of dollars for this. I need to allocate X amount of dollars for this. Right? You're budgeting finance. You're budgeting resources. You're budgeting, you're keeping a track on time. You need that, you know for a fact that if I don't do this, I cannot do this and I cannot do this. Right? So many things on a work construction or constructing a house using just tracking it by work breakdown structure. Now, I leave you with one more tip. One more tip is, if you take this 1.1 electrical, they say they break it down. Roughing electrical, install and terminate HVAC equipment. Why do they stop at 1.13? 1.13. Why do they stop there? Anyone? Okay. You break your work into many different tasks until you cannot break anymore. Example, plumbing. They say Rough-in plumbing, set fixtures and trim, test and clean. Can we do one more step after test and clean? What is there to be done after test and clean for plumbing? No more other steps. So they left it as 1 to 1.2.3. You all follow? Right? So what I need you all to do is very simple. Right? Try to capture the essence of this. Yeah. Right. For the next 5 minutes while we take a break and then we continue. It's very important that you guys all understand WBS because this is going to be a very critical component in your assignment. Okay, class? Back at
Okay.
11:05. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
We will come back at 11:05. All right. Let's start again. So again, just to recap, the next two slides would be on how you can present your work breakdown, right? Either through a graphical one or through an outline. Yeah, but then again, um, it's just the way of presenting it. Yeah, I want to take this opportunity, and then I want you all to just have a look at this. This is a simple example to use in terms of cleaning up your yard. You know, your yard is an area where schools have yard, homes have yard, offices have yard, um, where you can have like your own garden. Yeah, they say they've broken it down by clean up, cut grass, trim work, prepare equipment, trim hedge. Right. When you look at clean up, it's as one of the components of your work. Right. They break it down into pick up trash, bag grass, hedge clippings, haul to dump. Haul means throw it to the rubbish bin. Yeah. What I'm trying to say here is at this particular activity, there's no other thing that you can do. So your cleanup breakdown will have 1, 2, 3, 4 actions that you need to complete. And then they say mow front, mow back. Mow means use your mowing machine, you know, that cuts grass to mow front and then to mow to the back. What else can you do in order to mow? Nothing else. Maybe you can add in here, clean mowing machine, put it back in the store as one of your actions. So what I'm trying to say is all this would have further breakdown in order for you to track the work. Yeah. So this is in a graphical form. This is an outline. Yeah. An outline, can you see? Project agreement. Determine project objective scope. See, develop technology platform. Define selection criteria. Data staging, query and report, final production. So here also they have got many different actions or work that they need to do, and then they break it down, but they present it in an outline format. That's the difference. So this outline can be done in this way, and this yard can be done in this way. Yeah, it's up to you, right? There. Some of the requirements of work breakdown. The WBS should show the work and any interim deliverables. In most cases, WBS reflects the components. In short, the WBS is an organized task list. Can you do your project without WBS? You can. Right? Nobody said that your work cannot be completed without you capturing it all in WBS, right? But WBS will help you to manage your project more effectively, more accurate than compared to you not having a WBS. You can do projects, not a problem, without even this. Without this WBS, they can build a house, not an issue. They don't have to have this in order to build a house, but they would not be as organized and effective as having this as part of their plan. You all follow me? Okay. It creates an organized picture that allows us stakeholders to see all the work required to accomplish the project. Okay. Now, is a WBS not just a project schedule? No. See, each team represents different project managed elements. All right. A work breakdown structure allows you to identify the task. Right. So it's not a schedule. It is different than a schedule. Okay. They all can work together in order to track your project. A WBS, the project plan, project schedule, work plan. So what do they mean by here? I went to this first is because I want to explain this. Your plan can change. When your plan changes, your work breakdown structure also must change. Yeah. So I give you another example. Say a work breakdown structure. Okay. This is the plan to clean up the project, to clean up the yard project. Clean up, cut grass, trim work, prepare equipment, trim. Assuming in my plan, I include one more component. The one more component that I want to include is painting. So what you need to do now, you have to change here. You have to add one more for painting and then list down all the activities related to painting. That would be to clean up. I know I want to paint the fences around the yard, the paga, the fences on. So I need to clean it. I need to fix it. If there are any fences which are not which are already rotten, these wooden fences, and then only paint it and leave it to dry. Correct? So that's what they mean by this. If there's a change to a project, I need to change my work breakdown structure. Understood? Okay. And then they tell you the difference. Task dependencies, WBS does not show, schedule shows. Schedule task does not show when tasks occur. Project schedule start and ends date for each task. WBS does not show who's assigned. A project schedule does. So there's a difference. Okay. A schedule will have information that are not shown on the WBS. Okay. The very first one is this. Okay. Again, I take this. Remember these guys. Remember this. Okay. Task dependencies. Okay. I'm gonna take this and then I'm gonna show you all here. What they mean by task dependencies. WBF does not show them. A project schedule shows them. Task dependencies. So can anyone tell me, when you look at this, which action comes first? Which task they need to complete before doing anything else? The first task or activity that they need to complete. Can anyone put the number? You can tell 1, 2, and 3. Can put it here. Anyone can put in the number there? Which task? Is anyone there? Am I audible? Have I lost you all?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I thought I was talking to myself.
I would say, for my understanding, it will be foundation, but in realistic, if you ask me, we should not just guess it that way. So it doesn't say
No,
that
no,
which
based on this, which task should go first?
internal one.
No, you are right, Tariq. Your instinct was right. They say work breakdown structure does not show them task dependencies. Dependencies means one depending on the other. So in order to build a house, you must do the foundation first, right? But over here, they do not show that. They just show based on what they broke it down as what they need in order to build a house. Yeah, so that's what they did as level 1 deliverables, work that needs to be done. This is what I wanted to give an example as task dependencies, meaning that you have to complete one task before moving on to the next second one, correct? So that's what they are trying to say. Work breakdown doesn't show what project schedule does. Yeah, you follow me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. So again, moving on next. Okay, we have done these key differences. Okay, then why is a WBS important? Manage different pieces, better work definition, important communication tool, estimates, planning, control, clear responsibilities, risk factor identified early. So it is critical that you have a solid work breakdown structure to your project so that you'll be able to get all the benefits of this. Yeah. Estimates are financial term or finance on how we do things. Better estimates are estimates that you sort of can have a more educated guess on how much something's going to cost if you have done your work breakdown structure, if you have done your planning. Yeah, if you intend to buy some things, you just guess, oh, it could not be more than 50 ringgit. But before you do that, if you go and survey based on past projects and whatever not, maybe you can get better estimates, better pricing, or better timing on what needs to be done. How long will it take to do that? Right. So that's what WBS will help you with. Overall, okay, in this class for our module, for this particular module, project management, WBS is critical. Yeah. Task characteristics. Be measurable in terms of cost, effort, resource, and time. Result in a single verifiable end product. have a clear start and end dates, be the responsibility of a single person, right? Now, many different ways of you understanding what needs to be done or what a task is. The task is the action that you do in order to get something completed. Simple as that. The task is the action that you take in order to get something completed or part of to be part of a action that needs to complete at a very end. Right? So all of us do tasks today. All of us do tasks today, right? But is our task, it's related to a project? That's the only difference. Yeah. But most of us do it today. Yeah? And that's how they have defined task. Yeah. Think about it. It's about the action that you do, that you own to get something completed. Yeah. Example, you may not cook you may not cook lunch today, but you've been part of the action that would have resulted in your wife or your mother cooking lunch today, and your task was to go to the shop to buy the ingredients needed for today's cooking. But the one that you cooked was your mom. You did not do the cooking. You were just part of a task that resulted in cooking for lunch today. You all follow me? Yeah. So think
Yes,
it
sir.
of that way. Think it of that way. So you are contributing to an action, to a larger objective by breaking down and completing smaller actions, smaller tasks. Yeah. So they say be measurable in terms of cost, effort, resource, and time. Cost. How much money is going to cost you to go to the market and buy things? What's your effort like? How long will it take you? It's going to take you 3 hours. You no need to go. You can, lunch would be over by then, right? So things like that. Yeah. Then we go next. What needs to be done? Very important. Huh? In order to do your work breakdown structure, you have to identify all the pieces of work. Decide who does what. Matching skills. Actually, all three of these is important. I'm just highlighting what would be the critical component. Identify all the pieces of work that needs to be complete, that needs to be done to complete a project. Right? Do you think they've identified all the work here? I still think they're missing a few. Yeah. But idea is to complete, identify all the pieces of work. So they went internal with plumbing, electricity, they went foundation, and then they went external. But there could be other things that we are not looking at. And then decide who does what by allocation. Yeah. So you must look at who's going to do the work. Who? Remember the 5 W's? What, why, where, why, what, where, who, when, right? So you must understand who does, right? This would be the what. This is be the who, right? And then they say matching skills to activities and tasks. Very important. Okay. Then Moving on next. Say a systems approach. What's a systems approach? What's a systems approach? Right, we'll study a bit more. Yeah, system theory brings structure to an otherwise chaotic and unpredictable environment. There's uncertainties and complexities always to systems theory. Okay, let's look at what is a systems approach. Okay, a systems approach is then three main parts of a system: input, process, output. Guys, always remember, whatever you do in order to generate something else are known as input. Okay, how you process it, it's the processes, series of action, changes, function, output. Okay, in most times you learn later on that input will refer to any form of energy, right? It could be hard material, it could be intellectual property, it could be your own effort, it could be your own physical activity, right? So you learn all that next. Yeah, this is what they define as the system approach, the general project system. Right? Input, processes, output. Your input are your resources, money, time, expertise, competencies, talent, your company resources, right? Your company equipments, your company's formula, your company's uh, even your everything and anything that has to do with your resource. And the process is what we manage the project, and the output is what probably a new product. Okay, they say it, the general project system. So this is what they mean by the systems approach. Break it down into three components: input, processes, output. You all follow, huh? And then look at this. Okay, you have input transformed, resources, material, information, customer, facility staff, input transforming resources, right? You do a transformation process. The output could be product and services which goes to a end user customer. Okay, remember this input. What are inputs? 6 categories of resources in business need and requirement: human, physical, project, organizational, information resources, right? You want to talk more, we can. I just want to show output again. You'll have an idea. Outputs would be reports, brand recognition, presentation, new product or designs, new goods or services, software. Anything and everything that is needed in order to, yeah, I'm going to take this. New product. Okay. And go here. Okay. You talk about new product. New product would need, in order to come up with need business requirement and business need. That means you look at what is lacking, yeah, and based on what is the business demands, you can put that as part of your input. Your human resource, you spoke about your organization's expertise, yeah. Physical resources, you're talking about all the types of equipments, machinery, systems, talking about computers, anything and everything that you'd have from a physical perspective in order to generate something, right? If you want to build a new if you want to build a new website for your office, a new home page, what do you need? You need a computer, right? Part of your physical resources. You need a web designer in order to build your your company's new web portal. Human resource, right? Project constraints. What are your project constraints? What are the triple constraints? Anyone remember?
Cost, time, and scope.
Exactly. Yeah, that is your input also. Your scope, your time. Yeah. Organizational and environmental factors. Right. It's very important, right? Um, in terms of how when you talk about environment, it's just not weather. Please, guys, don't talk about weather only. Environmental factors comprises many other components of what goes around you. Yeah, you're talking about, and when you talk about environment, what should come into your mind? Are you all doing? Have you all heard of this? Anyone? Pest? Should be part of your management scope. Political, economical, social, technology. Yeah, these are the environmental factors that you should consider. Information resource, right? That means intelligence, IPs, whatever information that you can gather in order to process. Yeah. So we talk about this, talk about processes. Business need and requirement. Mechanisms, people, techniques, tool, and equipment. Management of the project. Constraints, time, cost, quality, technical, other performance parameters, legal, and so on. And then output, a new product or a service. Yeah. Simple approach to what we call as a systems approach. Inputs, processes, outputs. Okay. Tomorrow, if you were to take this this particular diagram and you try to use it for your project, your clarity on what is needed in order to complete your project will be very clear, right? This, you use a WBS, you realize that you will have much more clarity on what needs to be done and how you can achieve or how you can complete doing it. And there's feedback and feed forward. What is feedback? Feedback comes after we have completed. Feed forward means we are giving out or we are providing information firsthand or direction or guidance. Right? Feed forward is proactive. Feedback would be reactive. You all follow? Which is important. Both are important. Both are equally important. Feedback and feed forward. Yeah. Any questions? Okay. If none, let's move forward with a new topic. Week 6. Okay. They say operations management. So the difference between operations and project management. We'll know the difference as we go through here. Define what is meant by operations management. Importance of operation management. The management model. The 4 V's of OM. Differences between service-based and product-based operations. What do they say when every day is Monday in operations? What do they mean by that? Anyone?
It's the same thing every day.
Very good, Tariq. That's something that um, you do in operations, the same thing every day. Yeah. How? Examples?
Because operation is like you taking example, if you're building something, right? Every day that particular operation teams goes and build the same thing. So day in, day out.
Okay. Good try, but there's a small difference. If you're building something, you will have to complete it, right? You'll have to finish building it, right?
Yes.
That is a project. Okay. When you're building something, that is a project. But after you finish building it, when you're running it, then it becomes operations. Example. Yeah. Example is Tesco. Everybody who works in Tesco are running operations. Okay. Yes. Daily or routine process. Thank you for that, Suraida. Right. Everybody who works in Tesco are involved in operations. Why I say is they have to stock the shelves, they have to clean the place, the cashiers have to be there, punching in products, collecting money. The storekeepers must check for stock. The managers must ensure that everything SOPs are being followed. The dry goods department must look at what's needed. So every day in TESCO is an operation. You're absolutely right. Doing, Tariq, when you're doing the same thing daily, right? Huge difference between project management and operations management. Now, when do project management comes in? Project management comes in when they want to build a new TESCO in a place where they don't have. Yeah, that is project management. So, by the way, it's no more TESCO. Now I think it's going to be known as Lotus because the Thai conglomerate has bought over TESCO. It's no more owned locally, or TESCO does not own TESCO anymore in Malaysia. They have sold it to a Thai conglomerate called Lotus. Yeah, so next time you'll see Lotus rather than TESCO, I think. Okay, now just coming back. Let's see. What do you mean by operation? So you all can see daily the machine's duty is to just do a certain task. Okay. What are they doing? All these people, they say, are just waiting in queue to go through a scanner at the airport in order to ensure that they can go in and they're not carrying anything. Yeah. Right. Again, see, it's something that you guys are doing also, operations, right? Let's say you may have thought about it before, but you're surrounded by outcomes of this activity. Operation management underpins most human activity. Simple definition: the planning and the organizing of the production of manufactured goods and delivery of services. It's one of the core functions within an operation. What is operation? All the activities necessary for the fulfillment of customers' requests. Best way to understand is to look around you. Everything you can see around is being processed by an operation. Every service you consume today, radio, bus service, produced by an operation. Okay, now what they mean. Every single thing that you are doing today is a result by an operation. Example. You all are using a laptop now, right? Tariq, are you using a laptop?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, laptop. What is the model of your laptop?
HP.
HP. Okay. Any particular model? HP Pavilion or HP what? What is the name of the model?
I don't know.
It's okay. Let's call it HP Tariq. Yeah. Now, assuming the model of your laptop is called HP Tariq, do you think they only produced one?
No.
How many do you think they have produced? Take an example. Take a guess.
Few thousands.
Okay, maybe a few hundred thousands of units lah, huh? Okay. Now, in order to produce the first model of HP Tariq, they would have had a project team to design, to come up with a what we call as a prototype. The very first HP Tariq would be done by a project team. Okay, because it's a new product, it's a new model in the market in order to produce that. But after they have produced the first one, they will give it to the operation team to produce in thousands. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the first one to produce, most of the time a project team will do it. After that, they will say, this is the laptop that we want to sell. Okay, now go and produce this in thousands of units, guaranteed to sell more. That's the difference between project management and operations. You all follow, huh? Okay, you follow, yeah? Okay. And then they say brief history, originally termed as production management. Okay. They say groups of 3 and 5, put in business context. Okay. Here. Back office in a bank, manufacturing operation, takeout restaurant, body shop. All these are operations. They are all operations. Can you see? They are doing routine, regular work, which is important, right? Which is important. Difference is when Body Shop wants to come up with a new line of products, then they will need a project team. When you're talking about a new line of product that they will do, assuming, let's say, for a new perfume, they want to create using only organic scents. That project, once they've completed it, the retail operation will sell that by the bottles. So a difference. These are routine. Every day, typically the same thing again and again and again. Yeah. And then they ask, OM is one of the 3 major functions of any organization: manufacturer, retailer, a design firm, university. Yeah. Concept and tools of OM are widely used in managing other functions of a business. OM is a costly part of an organization. It's not very easy. It's not easy to manage operations because operations always got problem. Trust me, I have seen operations in Dell. Dell is a company that produces computer, right? Yeah, they've got a factory in Penang, and the complications of managing a factory that produces thousands of laptops every day. You can just imagine the type of issues that will arise. Not only in Dell, in any manufacturing environment, if you're producing something that requires many different components to be part of that operations, you'll definitely go into you have definitely faced many different issues. Okay, so that's manufacturer, that's group task. Let's move on. Operations are systems, input, transformation, output processes. Okay. Again, just like how you come up with the project plan, operations is a transformation process, right? But they have sort of put it through in a very simple manner, saying that what you have, what you do with it, comes out as products and services. Yeah. Don't be confused with all this. Guys, don't be confused with all this. Always remember. Yeah, always remember. Difference between project management and operations management are very clear. Project management, very unique. You don't do every day. It's an entirely new effort. It could be a product from somewhere else, but it's a new effort. Yeah, new effort from your team in order to get that done. Has got very definite timeline. Got start date, got end date. Yeah. Operations, although similar like project management, is different because you do it routine. Every day you do the same thing. Every day you do the same thing. Okay, it's not unique anymore. Again, think of the most simplest of things that you can differentiate operations management and project management. Can of Coke. Yeah, your Coca-Cola can. Why I use that is because I want you all to imagine and picture this. Yeah, picture this. In order to design that Coke can, would have taken them many different teams to work on the design, the color, right? One can, to design one can. How the wording should be, what's the size of the can, how the cap should be, and all that. Just to design, produce, and deliver one Coke can, there was a project team. But once they have already decided this is how our can is going to look like, and the project team delivers, okay, guys, this is the can that's going to be, this is the color that you must use, this is the wording, they give it to the operations team. The operations team produce what? Millions of Coke cans. That's the difference. Where is the cutoff? The cutoff is when the project team completes the project. The project was to design, create a new look for the Coca-Cola can. That's all they did. They took the can, they sprayed it, they played with different font, they looked at the size, they looked at the color, they looked at how it looked from very far, every single thing about that can. Once they already designed the can, they put it on the floor, they put it on the table and give to this operations team. Team, this is the can, you go and produce it now. So hence, that's what happened. You design, the design team is a project. Producing millions of can is the operations management. Okay, always have that in your mind at any time that you are confused. Yeah. And then they say the open systems model of organizations, right? Environment, output, and from other systems, and inputs to other systems. So again, this may look very complicated. I want you to remember. Yeah? I want you to remember. What they want to try and do is give you the picture of how project and operations would work hand in hand, right? And then how organizations manage these processes. So don't worry about this. I'm not expecting you guys to be very familiar with this. Yeah? But then again, I want you all, the key understanding I want you all to take away with you is the difference between project management and operations management. Okay, good. Now, before we move on to this, let's take another break and we'll come back at about 11:05. Yeah, Ken? Sorry, at 12:05. All right, guys.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, talk about operations management, the processes. See, what constitutes a process and process of the operations management? Volume, variety, variation, variability. I think it's pretty straightforward. Volume. Food industry, two different types of food uh, outlet. One is fast food, one is a eye-hand fine dining, but same food, not not same food, meaning that in the same industry, F&B, food and beverage. Volume relates to the size or output or scale of the output. McDonald's. Okay, let's take McDonald's in Sunway Pyramid. Yeah, I think you all are familiar with Sunway Pyramid. Do you all know how busy Sunway Pyramid is?
Yes, sir.
How many burgers do you think they would sell in a week compared to maybe Tony Roma's, the restaurant, which is in Sunway Pyramid too? So I believe that they would sell over a few thousand burgers in a week in McDonald's Sunway Pyramid compared to a restaurant, the Tony Roma's restaurant in Sunway Pyramid too, which is something like what you see in the picture. You sit down, people come and take your order, you order your steak and whatever not, or maybe your premium burger. Yeah. So that's volume. Yeah, volume. But what they are trying to share here is whether fast food you sell thousands of burger a week, or whether it's fine dining restaurant you serve about only 700 customers a week, it doesn't matter. It's still operations. Yeah, it is still operations. Simple. Yeah, whether you serve 30,000 people or whether you serve 700 people, it is still operations. Right? Now, secondly, what determines the operations? Variety. Right? Variety. Here, they have given Virgin Atlantic. Virgin is company owned by Tony Fernandez's good friend, Richard Branson. You all know Richard Branson? I think most of you all would have heard of him. He owns Virgin Airlines, Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Records, the brand Virgin. And I think he was the one who initially inspired Tony Fernandez to start off his own low-cost airline, Air Asia. I think I could be wrong, but what I want to do is I want to highlight the difference is when Air Asia started, they only flew where domestically, yeah, and they had they had only probably short haul flights, Penang KL, Johor KL, Singapore KL, Phuket KL, Medan KL, yeah. But Malaysia Airlines flew everywhere. Malaysia Airlines, you can fly to London, fly to Paris, fly to Japan. Yeah. So again, what they're trying to say is variety. I don't want to use food as an example because it's close to lunchtime and you all get very hungry very quickly. Yeah, but no choice. They have used this again, right? Saying that fast food menu, chicken, fish, beef. Yeah. Fine dining, you can maybe order more extensively, right? You can order something that they don't have. Maybe they have got something special of the day, right? So it's a bit different. Yeah, a bit different to manage it on a day to day, right? So, but now you can also see something similar in fast food. They've already adopted, they've already changed their style, right? Then process variation. Variation, they say levels of demand changes, right? Uh, when do you focus the most during your peak hours? If you're an F&B company, if you're a company that's selling food, your organization's core operation is food, what are the three main meals that humans consume? It doesn't matter whether you're in China, New Zealand, Africa, what people tend to eat 3 times in a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner. Although we Malaysians, we eat all the time of the day because our restaurants are 24 hours. But in most cases, general rule is people eat at during breakfast in the morning, one time in the afternoon, and probably one time at night. That's what they mean by, see, describes the level of demand changes over time, therefore affects the volume of outputs. This may be short-term, hourly or daily, such as lunchtime restaurant, or as seasonal, such as demand of umbrella, sunglasses, and tickets. Right. So during the rainy season, there may a higher sale of umbrella. Right. During the rainy season or monsoon, people do not go to East Coast, Kelantan, Terengganu that much. No, traveling is reduced. Right. So based on variation, when are the low, high, peak, also can be considered during the festive period. When the festive period, we have what Hari Raya, Chinese New Year just ended, right? And then you will notice that some things are sold more regularly after the festive period. Yeah. Okay. See, in the fast food sector, demand for meals varies on a daily basis, with peaks in demand at lunch and dinner times and influenced by factors such as weather, shoppers using if it's raining, right? So that's what they meant by variation. And then this one, they say variability. Okay. In most cases, when you go to McDonald's, you ask for a prosperity burger. You cannot make any changes to it. Maybe you can customize. Yeah. But if you go to a fine dining restaurant, maybe you can request something to be cooked as per your taste bud. Yeah. So there could be a difference in how how a burger is sold in a fast food chain compared to a fine dining restaurant. So again, that's the level of difference they would like to show. So remember this. What impacts your operation management? What is the core of your operations management? Volume, variety, variation, and variability. Okay, take class exercise. Talk about this. Talking about profile of two operations. Taxi, low volume, bus, high volume. High variety, low variety. High variation for bus is low variation. High variability for bus is low. So what do you mean by this? Can anyone relate back to what we did and type it out? I just want to see. Volume.
The number of bus and taxis out there, the bus is generally more than taxi.
Are you
Or
sure?
no, I mean, maybe you can say the frequency of bus. That means your schedules.
So, okay. Maybe you see this way. How many passengers can the taxi take?
Right. Yes.
How many passengers can the bus take? Volume, right? So depending on the number of volume, right? Variety. What is variety here? Okay. Product range, number of service offered. Okay. This is actually a very, how would I say, a model that needs to be updated, because there's a lot of changes has taken place the last couple of years when this uh, uh, model is still relevant. Like for instance, with a taxi, you can hire a taxi to go anywhere you want as long as the policy permits. You can take a taxi today and go to Malacca if you want to. Yeah, but you can take a bus. In order to take a bus to Malacca, you can only take a bus that goes to Malacca, and that is determined by time, determined by bus company, and so on. Today, even today, I take my Grab. I order a Grab to Malacca. It will cost me about 250 ringgit to go to Malacca. I can do it. Yeah. So simple things like that. Yeah, simple things like that. So that's what we need to uh, 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 what do you call that? Understand from here. Okay. Now, just moving on next. I think this is we've got a bit more to cover. Yeah. Same. They say typology of operations. Try to remember this. Okay. Low reputation, high repeatability, volume. Yeah. So what they say here is, if the volume is low, in most times the unit cost will be very high because it's very expensive to produce a product, right? Or the type of product they are producing has got a very complex processes, right? Like for instance, maybe we're looking at even cars that are manufactured. Okay. High repeatability, specialization, capital intensive. So maybe if the volume is high, the number of volume that you're gonna produce is high, you're looking at specialization. Yeah, that means a particular machine that only produces a particular type of part for your product, right? So all these, okay, you can probably relate it back to operations, a manufacturing operation or day-to-day operation, like you can take the example of Proton and producing what you call that, Nestle, two different companies, right? One manufactures car, but they manufacture car on a daily basis. Nestle, they manufacture food products. They manufacture food products on a daily basis, right? Can you all name me all the models of cars that Proton produces? Saga, Exora, X70, yeah, then X50, and then what else? Proton, right? Maybe 5, 6, or 7 different variation or variety, right? What does Nestle produce? Nestle produce only Milo, no, right? They have got thousands of product in their portfolio to produce, right? So that's what they're trying to say, the difference between this. Okay, moving on next. Now, functions can provide a competitive advantage. What do you define as competitive advantage? A competitive advantage is your own strength against your opponent, yeah, or against your competitor. Your brand is known because of its competitive advantage. The competitive advantage that Apple has other gadget companies like Samsung or Huawei or Dell or HP is that um, maybe in terms of quality or being unique, and dependability. Maybe they say, hey, Apple never fails. Apple always, right? It's good. So that's what they mean by competitive advantage. Yeah. What does competitive advantage? China has all over the other countries in the world. Anyone? What does China has that no one has in the world in terms of competitive advantage based on this?
Cost and speed.
Very good. Cost, speed. Very good, Tariq. What is working against them?
Quality.
Quality. Okay. Flexibility.
The flexibility is with them. They are able to change it fast.
So two things. Probably right now, China would probably need to work on the dependability and quality. Yeah, maybe. Just quality for sure. Their products are known to be less of a quality compared to Japanese or other brands. Yeah, that does not mean that it's not good. It's just that two different quality for the price that you get. Yeah, you pay more, we assume we're getting better quality product, right? Simple as that. So remember, once they change this, maybe their cost will go higher. We'll never know. So all these are components of what we call as competitiveness, your competitive advantage. So that's China. Talk about your own product, your company's own product. How different are they than the competitors? Yeah. So that's what the operations as a function can provide a competitive advantage. Okay. Now, I want you all to remember, right? If your company can be cost effective, if your company has got processes that are so good that they are very, very fast in delivering or completing a product, they are always on time, right? The quality is good. Most times they would have the advantage over other companies because of they'd be able to sell their product cheaper, a quality product that gets to people on time. So that itself is a big deal, right? So that's how operations can influence, right? They say benefits of being good, benefits of excelling. Excelling here means being good, being the best that it is, right? So I think this is straightforward. There's cost, dependability, flexibility, quality, speed, right? Difference between quick delivery and dependable delivery is two different things. Quick delivery is when you finish things fast, quick. You are able to complete your work at a time that is given to you. Now, dependability is your product reaches on time. Your operation is able to continue even there are issues, right? So that's dependability. Don't get confused between quick delivery and dependable delivery. Yeah. So it's the difference here is this: fast, reliable. Dependability is I can depend on you to deliver something for me on time. Yeah, it may take 5 months, but I know you will do it for me. Quick, fast is, you're able to manufacture, you're able to design, you're able to do things very quickly. Yeah. And then of course, quality, flexibility, ability to change, minimum cost, maximum value, all this would make you make your organization to have a competitive edge against your uh, competitors, your companies, other companies. Okay, these are just examples. Yeah, indicate difference between different products and services. I'm not sure you all have used this before. Polar diagrams, not very important. It's okay. This is just to illustrate or to show you how different is this. So if you're closer to cost, if your company is closer to cost, then you're good. If you're further away from cost, then you are bad. Okay, that's how you read it. You'll see the example next. So assuming if I put some lines here connecting and I put closer to cost, that's good. Further away from cost, that's bad, like this. Right? They say taxi service, the cost is higher. So it's not as cost effective. but you have speed. Speed meaning that you can get to your place on time, right? This one cost is um, uh, lower, so it's good. You know, I can rely on the bus service for its cheaper cost. Dependability, buses in this is based out of UK, so they say buses in UK run on time, so they are dependable, right? Flexibility, as what we mentioned earlier, I can take a taxi to Malacca at any time. I just order it through my Grab, but I cannot take a bus to Malacca anytime. Yeah, assuming at 2 o'clock in the morning, I got no car, I need to go to Malacca, I can order a cab, just like that. But I cannot go to the bus station and tell I want to go to Malacca now. So that's what they are trying to show here. Yeah, the speed, the quality, flexibility, dependability, and cost. Right. So you're closer, you're good. You're further away, then you are not so good. Understand how you read this polar diagram? Okay. Moving on. Services. Intangible. Inventory. High customer contact. Short response time. Labor intensive. Tangible can be inventoried. Low customer contact. Longer response time. Capital intensive. What's the difference between intangible and tangible? Anyone? Intangible cannot count. Cannot count. Tangible can probably count. Okay? That's what they mean by inventory. Can be inventory. Okay, let's move on. Maybe once you see the what we are trying to do is you'll get more idea. Okay, they say the US, it's an old one, 2018, 3 years already. They say US service sector activity hits decline. Okay, why? Europe's service sector, manufacturing. This again is Europe. It's not Europe, it's US, manufacturing service employment. Since people started modernizing their manufacturing processes, the number of employment of people have gone down. Okay, the number of people who are employed in the service industry has gone up. Okay, service industry gone up, manufacturing gone down. What do we mean? More knowledge workers are needed. Right. Let's move on. You'll get the picture. Okay. A goods-only Brexit deal puts UK services sector jobs at risk. Rolls-Royce technicians, lecturers, and musicians are as vital as Airbus wing makers. So what do that mean? They mean that people who are involved in the services industry, people who are providing us services, are also as equally reliant on operations to survive. Yeah, right. They say this one. Okay, the output from most operations is a mixture of products and services. Crude oil operation, aluminium smelting. I think this company produces whistles, right? So it's purely product that are exclusively tangible, right? Pret a manga is like a. Do I have a picture here? Not here. Okay, if you go to UK in London, this particular bakery is very famous, right? So they have baked products, right, off the shelf. They will also get you coffee. It's like it's like Starbucks lah. It's UK Starbucks. So imagine Starbucks, mix of products and services. And then IKEA, mix of products and services. And then finally, like Safari, they provide only services, a lodge, right? So what they're trying to tell you is difference between you manufacturing a product in a factory on a daily basis and you providing a service to people on a daily basis. They are different. That's what they're trying to tell you. Yeah, they are different. But overall, it's still operations management. Okay. Say operations managers manage resources, produce product services with the right quality. Operation management is concerned with design and operations of systems for manufacture. So again, although only referred to manufacture, what I'm trying to say is this will also apply to a service. To services, what service? As we spoke before, factories manufacture. Tesco provides you a service. Yeah, two different things. Huh? Then you say operations management is the activity of managing the resources which are devoted to the production and delivery of products and services. All right, production and delivery. You should remember this. It's very important when you do your assignment to remember this. Sorry, can you all hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Difference between project manager and operations manager. Remember, project manager also have got objective. Operations manager also needs to meet the objective, right? Project manager works with many different stakeholders, many different people, many different departments. Operations manager also may need to work with many different departments in order to get things done. But the fact is, operations manager will need to do it daily. It's a routine process that he has to manage, right? Everything that he does, it's something that, again, I give you an example, like we spoke earlier, the HP laptop that Tariq is using. Tariq, the project manager, is responsible to create and develop a new product to be sold, right? So he takes that one laptop that he has designed and he has built and gives it to the operation manager. right? And the operation manager would take all this input and manufacture thousands of units. That is the difference. You all follow me? You all follow me, right? The
Yes,
project
sir.
manager is responsible to create, design, and deliver one prototype laptop, but the operations manager is responsible to produce thousands of it. Okay. Okay. They say automobile. Okay, this is straightforward. Machinery introduces efficiency in most times, right? Um, uses knowledge. So you might have a database built for treating diseases in your hospital, like big hospitals like Sunway, Columbia Asia have got this patient information system that they can use in order to treat patients, right? Again, they call it knowledge. Yeah. And then consultants, um, like for instance, you're talking about when you talk about consultants, you're talking about subject matter experts. Subject matter experts who can come and give you the best advice and guidance, whether it's financial or whether it's tax or did any form of services that you need, like from Ernst and Young. There are so many other uh, uh, consultant companies out there that you can rely on, right? Or you can call in somebody from the engineering association of Malaysia. I think what's it called, like IJM. I can't recall what is that for your engineering needs. So right, and then there is um, partner resources, right? You can coordinate with uh, people that who have the means to react to a natural disease or natural disaster, sorry, right? And then you have agencies, um, again, a service that a lot of companies use in order to create good advertisement, in order to highlight their product, right? And also sell their product or capture the attention of the people. So all these are done on a daily basis. These are operations, right? Operations that you need to do. Let's say general model of operations management. General model. Yeah. So you're looking at using the input, use the input within your operations management model processes, right? And then deliver your output product or service. Yeah. So you just have to remember simple things: material, information, customers, facilities, staff, right? To produce thousands of laptop that you need to sell to the customer, right? So you would have your input from the project team. The project team hands over to here, right? And then the operations management team takes over and they start producing thousands of laptops. So that's how this model works. Okay. And then finally, trade-off. Right. So they say uh, Some things you cannot give up or you cannot trade off. Example, okay, something that's relevant to all of us. I need to get to Malacca now, urgent. Then I have to order a taxi. The taxi is going to cost me 250 ringgit to go to Malacca one way. And I have to do it now. Are there any other options? If I want to take, if I cannot afford the $250 now, I have to take a bus, which is going to cost me 30 ringgit. But can I go now? No, I have to wait for the buses schedule. Maybe that's one bus at 3 o'clock. Then again, if I take the bus at 3 o'clock, I may reach Malacca only at 6:30 or 7 because the bus is slower than the taxi. But if I take a taxi now, I probably reach Malacca by, it's 1 o'clock now. I reach Malacca by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then I can come back by 9 o'clock. So that's what they're trying to say, trade-off. If I take the taxi, it's going to cost me more expensive. If I take the bus, it's going to cost me cheaper. But taxi, I earn my time. Bus, I lose time. I cannot. So what is what? Which one is more important to me? Is it urgent for me to do? To be in Malacca now? If it's not urgent, then I take the bus. If it's critical, then I take the taxi. That's what they talk about, priority trade-off. You can't expect high quality and low cost together, right? See, delivery reliability versus flexibility. Conformance quality versus product flexibility. So what they're trying to say is sometimes there's always this challenge for you to become expert in all the area. You cannot be flexible enough, but yet reliable. Because why? It introduces new factors. It introduces new challenges, right? If you use a low cost product, a low cost material to build your furniture, right? Instead of teak wood, you use rubber wood, right? How can you expect the quality to be the same as the teak wood, right? That's what they're trying to explain. Any questions here? Any questions here?
No, sir.
Okay, excellent. So guys, we have come to the end of our lessons. We concluded until week 6 to operations management. I've got to be online until the next 15-20 minutes, right? Maybe until up to now it's 12:50. I'll be online till 1:05, depending on who wants to ask me questions in regards to their assignment. If there's nothing, y'all can drop off. If no, I'll be online until 1:10 in order to answer your questions. Yeah. If not, thank you guys and enjoy your lunch. I talk to you all next week. Those who want to stay on, please stay on, and I'm open for questions. Tariq, you still on?
Yes, sir.
So I think what you sent over,
Mhm.
it's quite some good work there. Yeah, just keep it up. Just watch out for your
Referencing.
referencing. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Sure, will do.
Apart from that, everything else looks good. Did you run it through the tool to see what's the
Which tool, sir?
the Turnitin tool to see um, whether you have any. Well, this is 500 words, yeah, right?
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay, got it. Okay, thanks, Tariq.
Okay, thank you, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
okay. If you wanna drop off, you can. I'll wait for the others to respond. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Tariq. Guys, I'll be online. Let me know. Okay, class. Anyone else have got questions? In regards to your assignment? I'm here now. You can ask me.